Welcome to Power Fridays Live, the channel that aims to make a difference in the world through transformation, spiritual growth, and for entrepreneurs. Our vision is to empower individuals to live their lives with purpose and to make a positive impact on the world. We believe that power and purpose are the driving forces behind success and fulfillment in both personal and professional life. Through our broadcast, we discuss business strategies and techniques that can help entrepreneurs achieve their goals and take their business to the next level. We believe that through sharing knowledge and experience, we can empower each other to succeed and make a difference in the world. Now here's our host, Janelle Pulley.
Hi, welcome to Power Fridays Live. Yes, this is a live broadcast and I was muted. I am so excited to be here with you this evening to have this conversation about women's history. It's Women's History Month, and empowering a woman is very important. And we're here to celebrate women and provide you information from different women who's contributed to the society. Entrepreneurs is really the foundation of this broadcast, and I'm super excited to share that I am a woman who's celebrating my achievements here in the 21st century. I have created history within myself, and I've done a lot of things that were, related to being the first person to do this, the first Black person to do that, and I'm so happy to share that from the background that I have. I come from a small town. And it was very challenging at times growing up in a small community. However, I spent my summers on a farm. Learned a lot from my grandmother. I attribute a lot of the things that I know today to her and training me, sharing with me, giving me insights on how the world works. And that's very important. And so I am going to run down a few of the notes that I have, and we're going to delve into stories of remarkable women who've shaped the 21st century. And I was shaped by my grandmother, my mother, and another woman who raised me also along the way. Various women in my life have contributed to my success, and I thank God for my mom. Betty Pulley. She contributed greatly to my success because all of the community service that I do is because of her. And I'm super excited to share that with you tonight. And today is International Women's Day. And I'm going to reflect on the achievements of women throughout history, including those that have broken barriers and shattered glass ceilings in various fields. And of course, from the great Marcy Blahoviak, it's like, it's not, the glass ceiling, it's just all blue sky. That's what she says. It's all blue sky. And today we're shining a spotlight on remarkable achievements of both Black women and all women who have excelled as, treasures of the United States, congressional leaders, political figures, activists, philanthropists. Their stories not only are inspiring, but also remind us of the importance of diversity and representation in positions of power and influence. So I just want to start off by acknowledging incredible strides, made by Black women in politics and governance throughout the 21st century. We've witnessed trailblazers like Kamala Harris, who became the first woman, first Black person, and first person of South Asian descent. I don't want to deflect from that. Of her descent to hold the office of Vice President of the United States. And her historic victory shattered barriers and inspired, countless individuals, worldwide. But the accomplishments of not only, Black women, I can remember the first woman to run on a ticket, on a presidential ticket. And in her background, it was in the 1980s. So Geraldine Ferraro, She was born in New York, graduated from Marymount Manhattan College, and later earned a law degree from Fordham University. But in 1978, she was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, representing New York Congressional District. And in 1984, now see, this is when I was a teenager, Ferraro, she made history by becoming the first woman to be nominated as a vice presidential candidate by the Democratic Party, where the presidential nominee was Walter Mondale. But they did lose the election, but to Ronald Reagan and Vice President George Bush. However, knowing that, being a teenager, first woman to be nominated as vice president, and here we are, fast forward in 2014, and having a woman a vice president, there's a lot to be said about that. Her legacy, champion for equality. She stood for a lot of things in public service and challenged the traditional gender roles in American politics. And she'll be remembered, because, she paved the way for all the women in politics. And I attribute her in paving the way for who we have now as Vice President Kamala Harris. And of course, not to mention, there's other influential women from various backgrounds. And I'm going to share that because this is International Women's Day. We're celebrating women and their origin and the significance of their origin, because, beyond the realms of politics and activism, there's a lot of people who've made their marks on this world as influential philanthropists and business leaders. Of course, who comes to mind when you think about a philanthropist and an international business leader as the great Oprah Winfrey? And she uses her platform of the Oprah Winfrey Show at the time, and even now with her the Oprah Winfrey Masterclasses, to uplift marginalized communities and support causes ranging from education to healthcare. And she's touched countless lives in having a school in Africa and inspiring others, to give back to their community in that way. So I'm one of, of course, this conversation couldn't be had without mentioning Oprah Winfrey. So as we celebrate International Women's Day, it's essential to recognize the significance of this day. The International Women's Day emerged from labor and socialist movements of the early 20th century, with the first official celebrating taking place in 1911. So since then, it's evolved into a global observance aimed at celebrating the achievements of women and advocating for gender equality. So in 2024, the theme for the International Women's Day is Break the Bias, emphasizing the importance of challenging stereotypes and biases that hold women back. It serves as a reminder that gender equality, and it's not just women's issues that we're talking about, but a societal imperative that requires collective action and commitment. And that's so important to know that you are looked upon being a woman and not being stereotypical of having to be the woman who's in the kitchen, cooking, cleaning, and that you are a mother, and I'm a new mom, and caring for a child. So as we reflect on the accomplishments of women in the 21st century, let's honor the contributions of women who've played pivotal roles in shaping our world. Their resilience, tenacity, and unwavering commitment to progress serve as a beacon of hope and inspiration for generations to come. So I'm going to take a moment to explore the stories of a few individuals who are making a difference in the world. And just remember to celebrate the achievements of women, not just today, but every day. And I thank you so much for tuning in to this broadcast of Power Fridays Live. I'm your host, Janelle Pulley, and I'm an author, speaker, financial literacy educator. And I thank you so much for tuning in to the International Women's Day conversation. So I chose 10 influential women, which it was hard to like narrow it down to just 10. So I may give you some more, but I'll make 11. How about that? So I'm an author of the book, Money Just Flew Out the Window, How to Create a Relationship with Wealth, Living from Paycheck to Paycheck. So I do invite you to look at my book. And so tonight we have possibly, I'm not sure if he's going to join me in the conversation, and we'll see if someone else will invite me in this conversation. So as we gear up, 1 second here, I want to make sure that you have the information about my book. So I'm gonna add it here in just a second. As soon as I find it, it's now available on Amazon. Money Just Flew Out the Window, How to Create a Relationship with Wealth, Living from Paycheck to Paycheck. So I'm so happy to provide that to you. So I'm going to share it with you. There you go. Money Just Flew Out the Window, How to Create a Relationship with Wealth, Living from Paycheck to Paycheck. It is available on Amazon. So I thank you so much for joining us this evening as we have this conversation about women who've made an impact on society in Women's History Month. So please do grab a copy, as I've made history. I'm being the first person in my family to write a book. So there's a lot of history, associated with that. And also being the first woman in my family to obtain their master's degree. So that's just a couple of the accomplishments that I will share with you this evening. So about me, but I also want to share with you about others. So Malala Yousafzai, the Pakistani, please forgive me if I pronounced that last name incorrectly, and she obtained a Pakistani education, and she is an advocate for girls' education. So I'm really, of course, the foundation of education is very important to me. She survived this assassination attempt by the Taliban at age 15 and went on to become the youngest Nobel Prize laureate. And I'll have the names of the women that I'm talking about in the chat as well. That's Malala Yousafzai. And of course, Serena Williams is a professional tennis player, of course, along with her sister as well. That Venus, they were professional tennis players who were regarded as one of the greatest athletes of all time. And Serena herself won numerous Grand Slam titles and Olympic gold medals throughout her career. But to be side by side with your sister for a time period of where you're making history, as a woman, I think is absolutely phenomenal. So I just wanted, to share that. And of course, Michelle Obama, she's an author, American lawyer, and the former First Lady of the United States. So, we want to, celebrate, Women's, History Month in that regard. So let me, go here and share the information here. Okay. And so I'm just basically getting the information together, and so that it can be shared. And I do apologize for the brief moment here. Let me do something here. Let me see if he's here. So in celebration of Michelle Obama, she is known for her advocacies on issues such as education, there again, health and health and poverty alleviation. So getting your body together, a lot of children, were able to do their exercises with former First Lady Michelle Obama. Of course, she sat down several times with Oprah Winfrey. They're good friends, from what I understand. So, of course, a notable, influential woman here in the 21st century definitely is Michelle Obama. Angela Merkel, a German politician, she served as Chancellor of Germany from 2005 to 2021. And she was actually, Angela Merkel, the first woman to hold the office as one of the most influential leaders in global politics. And Ruth Bader Ginsburg, God bless her soul. She's an American lawyer who served as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States and from 1993 until 2020. She was known for her advocacy for gender equality and women's rights, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So, looking as a young child, of course, back in the 90s, I was looking at, oh my gosh, here's a woman who's becoming the Supreme Court Justice. And then now we have an African-American Supreme Court Justice. And her story is remarkable. And beyond, Rosa Parks and her impact on American history. But let me get that. Get that together. This is for you. And her name is I can't remember her name. And Ketanji Brown. She became the first Black Supreme Court justice. And so that is who had a historic moment for us. And she's making a significant milestone in American history as a momentous step forward for diversity and representation on the nation's highest court. So, that is so amazing, that I can share that information with you as well, because she has integrity. She has a great legal acumen, and she inspires future generations of attorneys and judges from diverse backgrounds. So I'm so excited, to share with you about Ketanji Brown, and I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly. And I'm so excited to share her notable history. And of course, Rosa Parks, we all know, I know it's not Black History Month, but she made her significant historical boycott, working with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and other civil rights leaders in being a woman who changed the face of discrimination and oppression. So, there's a lot that women had to overcome, throughout history. And being that, I guess at the helm of it, the leadership that these women uphold are by far what I would love to, to also address, women in leadership. And that is very much a foundation that we can talk about. The intersection of women, in leadership, that the dynamic world of female leaderships, that they reshaped industries. They broke barriers, and they are basically the catalyst for positive change. Without any of the women that I've shared with you, being the catalyst for positive change is by far foremost what all these women stand for, and stood for, and or stand for. Because with me becoming an author, I wanted to impact positive change around financial literacy. Next month is financial literacy month, and we're going to have a great format of various people from the financial industry to interview and come together and share with us the experience of being in um, promoting positive financial literacy, education, and change. Women bring about a wealth of diverse experiences, perspectives, and talents in leaders to leadership positions. From the boardroom to the classroom, women leaders are making their mark across the world, globally. It's something about the strength of a woman in leadership and their ability to empathize and connect with others is what makes the world go round. I tell you, this world will not be the world that it is without a woman, of course, as we know it. Research has shown that women tend to excel in their interpersonal skills and communication and collaboration. Because just imagine, I grew up in a large family. My mother, she had all different personalities to deal with. That's the strength of a woman and the qualities that they possess, and being able to manage that and work with those qualities of the various people that allow us to continuously to be interconnected throughout this world and be successful, as a woman in that regard too as well. So exploring the stories of these trailblazing women leaders, sharing the insights and strategies for how they overcome obstacles, and just overall International Women's Day is a celebration of the incredible impact of women in leadership. So women empower, lead, inspire, and truly, truly, make a difference in this world. So I also, comes to pass, Greta Thunberg. She's a Swedish environmental activist known for her efforts to combat climate change. And she gained international recognition for her school strike for climate movement and her powerful speeches at global forums. And I can tell you that, beyond that, it's very important, to speak to the women who are making a historic difference in the world. Women like Stacey Abrams, being here in Georgia, seeing her, fight for a fair playing field when it comes to her politics. She's a powerhouse known for her tireless effort to promote fair voting rights and civic engagement. And she's played an instrumental role in shaping the political landscape, being the first woman to run for governor in the state of Georgia. That was remarkable. And she's been very instrumental in mobilizing voters and advocating for fair and accessible elections. She, too, is also an author, and I'm very happy to share that as well. So in addition to political leadership, Black women have made significant contributions and as activists and advocates for social justice. Figures like Alicia Garza, she was the co-founder of the Black Lives Matter movement, and she's been instrumental in raising awareness about systemic racism and police brutality. Her grassroots effort sparked global movements and ignited conversations about racial equality and inclusion. And you just never know that there's a realm beyond politics and activism. But when we really get down to it, the fairness that women, have been being treated over the years, it's been very much a political conversation, of sorts, as well. So I've really enjoyed, being with you this evening, sharing with you the different impacts that women have when it comes to their groundbreaking contributions. They're being from diverse backgrounds. It doesn't matter, if you are in the middle of a country that you've never been in before. It's been known that you can seek the help of a woman. If a child is lost, and a mother is going to know that before anyone else, and they just have that innate nature about themselves, about myself, I should say, too, as well, that nurturing, being that nurturer. But really, wanting to make a difference in the world, you will definitely know that a difference has been made because a woman was involved. And I cannot imagine all of the history that women made. Their movies that were created, like Hidden Figures, that we didn't know women were at the catalyst of the spaceship launching. a woman was at the helm of creating the worldwide internet and the GPS system as we know it, the global positioning system. So the achievements, the inventions that a woman has contributed to society is remarkable and immeasurable. So I thank you so much for joining me today as I shared the remarkable accomplishments that women have had over the course of the 21st century, and just spoke on a few women. And there may be a special woman out there in your life that you would like to acknowledge, that you want to say, what woman inspired you in your life that made a difference for you in the world? There are a lot of women educators, and I know having seen that woman educator in that classroom made a difference for a lot of people. And I hope that you continue to look up and live and look at the ambiance of a woman that can make a difference in your life and how important it is, and to have had a woman to be influential in your life, to make a difference in your life, and make it, of course, women, of course, make a difference in this world. So please do look on Power Fridays Live for next week's episode as we continue this conversation about powerful women who are making a difference. And of course, do not forget to pick up Money Just Flew Out the Window: How to Create a Relationship with Wealth, Living from Paycheck to Paycheck, written by yours truly. And it is a remarkable book. And being a woman who is having this conversation with others, I am super excited, to share with you. The book is now available on Amazon. And I thank you so much for joining and listening. And we didn't have anyone commenting or engaging, but if you have any recommendations, or if you have anything that you would like to share, please do, leave it in the comments. And I also do want to share that I do offer the free financial family plan. Being a woman that talks about money, there's a book that you can get from my website about women taking control of their money. And I'm so excited to share with you that. And I'll tell you the name of the book, and you can pick it up for me, because you can go to my website and you can get it. And it's a book, and it's called How Money Works for Women, Take Control or Lose It. And it's by Sharon Lecter and Kim Schooler. Sharon Lecter was a woman who worked with Rich Dad Poor Dad. And you'd be amazed at what you learned that today, for me, that a woman was behind that Rich Dad Poor Dad concept. And I'm so excited to share that with you as well, because that's just a little known fact that you probably did not know, that I will share that as well. I want you to reach out to me to get a free copy of this book. And I need to turn off the banner so that you can see everything. How Money Works for Women by Sharon Lecter and Kim Schooler. You can also pick that book up for me. Just send a message directly, comment on this video, and I will see to it that you get a copy of How Money Works for Women. Take Control or Lose It. It's a Stop Being a Sucker book. It's for women, written for women by women. And, I definitely, want you to get a copy of that book. So I'm very happy to share that with you as well. So please do subscribe to Power Fridays Live, .com on your Facebook or the YouTube channel. Share this video with a friend, share the channel with a friend, and we hope that we will continue to deliver wonderful content for you in the many years to come. So thank you so much for joining me today on Power Fridays Live. And I'm your host, Janelle Pulley. Want you to pick up your copy of Money Just Flew Out the Window: How to Create a Relationship with Wealth, Living from Paycheck to Paycheck. We do thank you for joining us on this International Women's Day. I hope I've shared something with you that you find of value, and so that you can go tell a woman in your life that you absolutely love them. And because of everything that happens, a woman gives birth. And that's the most beautiful joy that a woman can have and share with others. And even if a woman hasn't birthed a child, the nurturing, the leadership that they possess is well worth it. And they just become the woman who will make sure that things happen the way that it needs to happen, from a leadership perspective and cultural perspective. A woman takes care of everybody, no matter what. So thank you so much. Be, do, and have the greatness that you desire, because the greatness in you. Please do join us next week for another episode of Power Fridays Live. And I look forward for you sharing this information with someone that you love. And we'll see you next week for Power Fridays Live. Take care and be blessed. Have a great weekend.